Hi there everyone, welcome back to Fingers, Thumbs and Fits, where today I shall be taking a look at issue number 9 of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead magazine. Now, as you can see, there's no minis with this one, so this is going to be a bit of a shorter video, but nevertheless, let's take a look, shall we? One thing to note, actually let's get this paper off, this plastic off. Right, 2 paints here, both very useful in my opinion. Leadbelcher, it's a great metallic for pretty much anything. You make it look a bit grimy with a bit of Agrax Earthshade that we've had before. Mix it with a little bit of white maybe and make it look a little bit shinier. Mephiston Red is great for cloaks. It is a go-to for a lot of people when it comes to cloaks and clothing. And it is a very versatile base paint. The only thing I can say about it though is if you put it up over a darker base shade, you may need more than one coat. But you know, thin it down a little bit, put in 2 thin coats, as you've probably heard if you've been following any kind of painting videos, and you'll be good to go. So yes, 2 great paints here, and I'm not going to turn down either of them. I think I might actually need some more Leadbelcher, so this came quite at a nice time for me actually. Yes, anyways, what I was going to say before I realised that that plastic had a glare over it, character on the front here unfortunately isn't in any of the spearheads, and I wish it was. It's a very interesting brand of a Warlock engineer called a Warlock Bombardier, and they essentially fire missiles of glowing green rocks, and they're quite mad. I'll put a picture of the mini up on screen. It's a shame that they're not in a spearhead, especially as this is going into the shooting phase. And oh, the Warlock Engineer can shoot. Oh, and I think the Rat Ogres can shoot as well actually. I don't know whether or not any of the Stormcast can. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's just take a look at what this magazine is going to tell us. Yes, now here's my boys, the Clan Skryre. These guys are absolutely mentally insane, and they come up with some weird and wonderful weaponry. We can see some of it here. That's a I think that's called a Rattling Warp Blaster. That's a, I think that's called a Warlock Galvanier. That's one of the newer models to be shown. That's a kind of like rock drill type thing. Yeah, they come up with some, oh here we go, Arch Warlocks. Yeah, there we go. They're kind of like lead the Warlock Engineers. Warlock Galvanier. There's your Warlock Engineer. Oh, that's what the Warlock Bombardier looks like. I don't need to try and find a picture of it now. Here it is. Yes, they are, as you can tell, they are all quite mad. Warp Spark weapon batteries, Rattling Gun, Rock Grinder, Warplock Jezzails, which are very cool. They're just essentially massive sniper rifles that have to be crewed by 2 rats. They're kind of insane. Warp Lightning Cannon is also very cool. That is in another Skaven Spearhead, not the one that this magazine will be dealing with, but one that I do hope to get in the future. So look up the other Spearhead projects playlist that I have. And the absolutely completely mental Doom Wheel, which I think came about in, I don't know, was it fourth edition of Warhammer Fantasy, when things were not so serious, and yeah, it's essentially just a massive lightning spewing hamster wheel, because of course they're rats. So yeah, a little bit of fun with the Doom Wheel there, and this particular iteration of it does look fantastic. They're also smaller, like individual rat-sized variants that come in packs, and I can't remember what they're called now for the life of me. But again, they're not in spearheads, so it's unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that the other spearhead, whilst I'm on the subject, it is a Clan Skryre spearhead, but it's led by Gracie, which is kind of a little bit weird to me. But anyways, we've got updates for the paint jobs for the models. So we've now got some Leadbelcher that we can put on some metallics. We've now got some Mephiston Red that we can paint the plumes and the weapon grips with. We've got some Leadbelcher going on the Skaven as well. Oh, and they're painting the armour red as well, which is the classic colour for Skaven armour. And as you can see, as they're coming along there, that's starting to look quite striking. We've got some rules here. We've got the shooting phase. Who are they using? Let's combat. Which units can make shooting attacks? Well, anything with ranged weapons on the data sheets, which is denoted by the little bow icon. Yeah, the Rat Ogre has a warp fire gun. So shooting works like combat, just over range, as you'll find out in the Death from Afar battle plan here, which goes pretty much, yeah, the Stormcast don't have any ranged attacks, so they only get movement, charge and combat, whereas the Skaven get movement, shooting, charge and combat because of the Warlock Engineer and the Rat Ogres. So yeah, they get a little more toys to play with, and yeah, there we go. That's what the magazine entails, and we get a preview of the next one, which I'm very much looking forward to. These are Stormcast Eternals Prosecutors, and I think these are by far some of the best Stormcast models, looking anyway. I don't know how they perform rules wise, but I think they look absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to get stuck into these guys. So yeah, hopefully they'll be a little bit more balanced than the previous iteration of them, which were a bit top heavy and were prone to falling over. But as Games Workshop like to do, they, you know, moulding these flying units on thin pillory bits. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, join me next time where I'll be looking at the Prosecutors, and yeah, looking forward to that one. So I hope you'll join me then. Until then, keep on adventuring. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.